And the starting lineups have concluded. So just sit right back and relax. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome, basketball fans. It's Saturday afternoon, and you're watching the NBA on 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan here with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, and we'll have David Aldridge filling us in from the sideline. DA, it's all yours.
Well, if you ask Karl Anthony Towns, his greatest strength is his versatility. He said, "My dad taught it to me at a young age, and it's made my transition at every step of my career comfortable, having the fundamentals and foundation. Don't limit myself. Try to be great at all skills." Kevin?
Yeah, terrific attitude. It makes him very tough to handle. David, thank you. And a quick look here at some of the numbers for Towns.
And he's gotten very shaky at the foul line in the last 5 games. Compared to his numbers through the rest of the season, I know he's frustrated and he'll be desperate to get it turned around here tonight.
And the starting lineup for the Timberwolves. The tandem at the 1 and the 2, Teague and Culver. Conley and Towns, the duo inside. And it's Walden in at small forward. And for Houston, Tucker and Capella are up front. Gordon out there with Russell Westbrook. And it's Charles in at the 3 spot. Like right around the halfway mark, and some players starting to feel a little bit beat up, taking those bumps and bruises. Is it hard to decide which injuries to play through versus the ones that make you sit and miss a game?
You know, I don't think so. If you're a younger player, it may be a little more difficult, but as you've spent time in the league, you know your body. You understand what's an ache and a pain and something you can play with, or an injury that really hampers you. So I think as you mature in the league, it becomes much easier to know what's an injury and what's something that you can work through.
That word tolerance becomes pretty important, doesn't it?
Yeah, and everybody's a little different in that regard, Kevin. Some guys have a high tolerance, others have a low or moderate. But again, it's about knowing your body.
And he knocks down the first one.
We've got one of the hardest working players in the league at the line here. Shea works hard on all aspects of his game.
And the young Timberwolves head coach, Ryan Saunders, son of former Minnesota coach Flip Saunders, about as great of a pedigree you could ask for as a young coach.
Well, guys, you've heard me talk about the DNA when it relates to players. It's the same with coaches. I mean, Ryan has grown up seeing his dad coach at a high level, the late Flip Saunders, one of our favorites in the business. He spent his whole life around basketball, so he has a great way with players and a real good understanding of the game to a modern-day approach for a young coach.
The drive by Axel Walden, and Axel Walden slams it in.
I think Walden's most effective when he's on the move and playing with a lot of energy.
And he gets the bucket.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Well, this early, they should be showing a lot more energy on defense. It's not there.
Now, here's Culver. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against Portland.
And we got to talk about his 4 steals on the night. That's a complete performance at both ends of the floor.
5 on the clock. Teague. Well-placed jumper from the free throw line.
You know, looking to shoot it as much as possible. Teague is excellent at capitalizing from the mid-range area of the floor.
And the pass to Capella. On the wing, Chain. Guarded by Walden. And here's Westbrook from the arc. He's off on that one. And Minnesota will come the other way. Culver passes to Teague. Off target at the rim.
You know, sometimes making it difficult for him to finish at the rim is all you can ask for from the defense.
Here's Jay. Count it. Good. Jay's got 6.
Boy, that's how you take it straight at the defense. Che with a no-nonsense, straight-line approach.
Outside, Walden. And Walden throws it down.
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist.
For 3, Westbrook. Good on the triple.
Whether he's attacking the basket or squaring up from long range, Westbrook is always dangerous.
Now here's Teague. He's definitely a factor in their offense, averaging 12 points a game. And it's Walden missing. Rockets leading by 3. Over Teague. It's out of bounds to the Rockets as Houston retains possession. And now we'll take a second to look at the race for Rookie of the Year. A new year ahead of us, and so much more for these young players ranked by their impact so far. You look at Jay. Well, he's shown he's a force as we move along in the meat of the season, sitting pretty at that #1 spot now, and it's his race to lose.
And this is just a special, special player. No question he should be favored for the Rookie of the Year award at this point.
I ditto all of that. I mean, it's taken him only about half a season to show that he's going to be one of the faces of the NBA for a long time to come, barring injury.
Now here's Towns after Eric Gordon's miss. Towns kicks to Walden. Let's go. It drops for his 3rd basket. He's missed only 1 shot. Rockets have gone 3 of 7 from the field since we've gotten underway. Passes it to Gordon. Houston moving the ball around. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
And you think about the 2 best talents in Wolves history, KG, obviously, and probably Big Cat.
I would not disagree. I mean, KG is a Hall of Famer, and the Cat, Karl Anthony Towns, has been terrific early in his career. The rebounding and scoring, the versatility at that size between those 2 guys, it could have possibly been like the Admiral and Tim Duncan. Well, maybe not quite that good, but really good.
The feed to Vonleh. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague.
Well, nobody can deny that Teague has a great sense of how to set teammates up with the scores. That's one of his greatest strengths, his passing.
Here's Capella, and the dunk by Capella.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
Timberwolves trail by 3. Now Teague. Here's to Vonleh. He kicks to Culver. 6 to shoot. Sinks that one from the post.
I'll tell you, Culver has an array of moves once he gets into the paint.
Rockets have gone 50% from the field at this point, 4 of 8. Shea passes to Westbrook. 3-pointer. And another 3 for Houston.
And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
Down low. And Capella sends it back.
Boy, the timing Capella has on the defensive end, outstanding. Terrific at knowing exactly when to go up for those blocks.
Now here's Culver. Following the miss by Shea. Covington with the bucket. And here's Westbrook playing Oklahoma City. He was nearly unstoppable. On the top of the key, and it's Houston with another.
And Westbrook is a terror from the mid-range. Terrific at sticking it to the defense from that spot on the floor.
T dishes to Culver. That one doesn't go. And Houston the other way. Jay kicks to Gordon. Here's Jay. He dishes it to Capella. Good, and the assist goes to Jay. Jay's got his 3rd assist on the night.
Shea knows to have his head up at all times, scanning the floor, because that way you can deliver to an open teammate on time, on target.
Now here's Towns. He's coming off a 19-point game against Portland.
And we have to mention his rebound. It wasn't all about the offense. He battled his tail off down low.
Gordon kicks to Jay. Shot clock at 5. Pass to Tucker. Houston needs to get a shot. For 3, Westbrook, and another 3 for Houston.
Coming off a big game, his confidence couldn't be higher, and coach knows it.
Showing no signs of slowing or cooling down. They're going to ride him as far as he can take him.
So the Timberwolves called their first timeout, moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Blazers.
Total embarrassment.
quarter number 2. We're about 2 minutes in. Here's Von Lay, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. And Clark, when you were playing, I imagine the pre-draft process was a lot different than it is today.
No doubt about it. I mean, I came out in 1982 after my junior year, Kevin, and at that time, if you were a guy who was declaring early, you basically just had to go on whatever knowledge and information you could get from whoever, because there was no allowing you weren't allowed to go to a workout. Teams could interview you, but there were no on-court workouts, so it was totally different than today.
Tucker and Capella are up front. Russell Westbrook out there with McLemore, and it's Shea in at the 3. That's the 5 for Houston right now. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. Shea in the last game against the Thunder was phenomenal. He had 42 points and played tremendous defense as well, really causing havoc on both ends of the floor. His numbers were off the charts. He was unguardable, and he knew it. He took advantage of it. Kevin, back to you.
Thank you, David. You're right. He was a one-man wrecking crew in that one.
Yeah, he was not going to let them lose that game. We'll see if he comes in with that same attitude tonight.
Yeah, you know, every night's different. They may try to double him, might force him to adjust, or force him to make plays with the pass instead. We'll see.
And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. Their work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, as they're looking to battle back, that's one of the key elements. You got to rebound.
Okay, time now for an injury report. For an update on Karl Anthony Towns' injury, let's go over to David Aldridge.
So, guys, I had a moment to catch up with Minnesota's head athletic trainer. He told me it's a pinched nerve in his neck, and that has him in a lot of pain. If he were to miss a lot of games, this would be a huge blow. This is a team that hoped and expected to make a deep playoff run this year. Kevin?
Thanks for the status report there, David. At least we now know, Greg, how he's doing.
Yeah, when you talk injury, the unknown factor is always a difficult thing to deal with.
And, you know, for him, just watching his teammates unable to contribute, that's really a helpless feeling.
Towns, he's checked in for Noah Vonleh. And so Teague hits 2 free throws.
Well, you look at Jeff Teague, and his game does not have a lot of flash, but his handles, those are rush hour caliber. This guy has that ball on the string, folks.
Now here's Shea. He's got 10. Gordon for 3. Offensive rebound. Here's Capella. Banked in off the glass. Capella's got 8 points.
And Kevin, they've dialed up their activity this quarter. We're seeing them convert a lot of those second chance opportunities.
Well, the hustle and the effort, the persistence, all of that paying off in a big way. And that's something that makes a coach smile.
And with Teague, Clark doesn't do anything flashy, but the stats do add up.
Yeah, he's very steady and quiet, understated. But you watch him out there, and he's a competitor now. Before last year, Teague had made the playoffs 9 straight years in a row, and that doesn't happen by accident.
Now here's Shea. Last game out, we saw him 4 in 42. To the inside, Capella. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. That one is on Towns. And with Clint Capella, it's easy to see what an important piece of this team he is.
Yeah, it really is, guys, because when he's off the floor, there's a clear difference in how his team plays. I mean, he fits in so well and gives the Rockets exactly what they need, finishing at the rim out of pick and rolls, and then a terrific rim protector as well.
Now here's Teague. Stolen by Tucker. Kicks it out to Shea. Trying his luck from deep. A second chance effort. And he lays it up and in. Tucker's got the lead up to 10 now for the Rockets.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And it's been a well-rounded performance. I mean, strong rebounding has certainly been at the center of it, but it's been good on a number of levels.
And finished off by A.W.
A.W.'s given them an unbelievable lift tonight. He's locked in and focused in a big way.
He muscles it in through the contact, and they call the foul. He's on his way to the free throw line.
They are just killing him on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
Free throw, good. Jay. Timberwolves trail by 11. And stolen by Jay. And it's Houston on the break. Here's Westbrook. Good, and the assist goes to Jay. Westbrook's got 13. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Rockets.
And it's been about their defense. They're playing with a frenetic pace, putting a lot of pressure on the ball handlers and forcing turnovers.
And I really think you've got to love the way they protected the rim today. I mean, a good number of blocks in the first half.
Here's Chet after the made shot from Karl Anthony Towns. Here's Capella and the rejection by Towns.
Well, you see the great reach as well as the relentless pursuit shown by Towns. She's simply saying, not here, not now, not in my house. Boy, he's got to be kicking himself for failing to make that shot. That's money.
And it's Gordon missing. Timberwolves trail by 11. Here's Culver. He's got 5, and that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Yet another player from the 2019 draft class who wasn't a top high school recruit. Jarrett Culver, 3-star guy, thin, unrefined, but in that sophomore year of college, boy, did he surprise some folks.
Oh, here's Jay. He's got 13. Another shot. That one is good. He's only missed 1 shot of his 6 taken on the floor.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
And Greg, when you talk about Culver, the one thing he did show in high school and again showed at Texas Tech, the ability to score.
Yeah, and he creates and makes shots against great defenders. Every team in the NBA is looking for that. His jumper, his handle, his ability to move without the ball, already NBA level stuff.
Here's T after Clint Capella's bucket. Right side T. Second shot opportunity. Jang, no luck. And it's Westbrook with the ball. He brings it up for the Houston Rockets. They want to keep rolling here following the win against the Thunder.
Well, you look at the points they produced in that game. Great adjustments on the offensive ends.
Well, it's really hard to stop them when they're in a groove offensively, and they were in a comfort zone all game long in that one.
And if there was ever a definition of a glue guy, Greg, it would be P.J. Tucker. He's so valuable to his team.
You know, PJ gives you production in every way, and his impact really goes beyond the stats. All the little things that coaches want their players to do, that's really the motto of Tucker's game.
The first one called. A lot of different ways, Clark, to construct a roster. What would be your preference as a general manager? Any direction you might want to go?
Well, obviously, if you have an opportunity to get an outstanding franchise-type point guard or versatile wing player in today's game, I think those are the pieces that you really need to start with.
Because there's so much spacing and so much switching on defense.
Exactly, and I failed to mention a two-way player at that wing spot who can defend multiple positions but also has a pretty strong offensive skill set.
Houston making a switch. Jerebko's checked in. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. That's on Clint Capella.
Yeah, good job to take it right at him.
Yeah, really left him no choice there, Greg. He had the foul and keep him from converting the easy bucket.
Austin Rivers, he's checked in for the Rockets.
Yeah, in this quarter, they've had the right approach, driving and drawing, initiating contact, create opportunities, get to the line.
Yeah, I like everything you said there, because when all else fails, if you can get to the strike, that's really a good way to change the momentum in the game, because you get points and you also slow down the opponent because the game isn't going up and down as much.
Napier with it. Looked up by Rivers. Here's Wiggins. And the rebound goes to the Rockets.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Guys, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they've been absolutely dominant.
Unwilling to let up even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flames.
Yeah, I love the fact he doesn't play the score. He just keeps coming, attack mode. He doesn't know how to step off the gas pedal.
The Timberwolves again can't hit.
And if you ask me what percentage of the time he's making that shot, my answer would be in the single digits.
Well, you can't be forcing a shot like that. You got to keep the ball moving. Get something better.
Straight rim rocker.
It looked like it, Greg, for a second, like he might rip the cylinder loose.
Now that is some real industrial size strength right there.
And what an alley-oop. Those two read each other so well.
It's a play I'm sure they love to run.
And as the receiver, he doesn't feel the need to go for the monster finish that time. I mean, laying it up for the 2 points worked out just fine.
The pass to Murray. Jerebko with it, covered by Wiggins. Jerebko can't get it to go. Wiggins drives in, and that one's good. His second basket of 4, shooting 50%.
Boy, that's a smart drive by Wiggins. That's reading the defense and making it happen.
Rivers passes to Chain. There's 31 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Inside, here's Jerebko, and he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. That one is on Towns. Good from Jerebko for the Rock. The 3 doesn't go for him. And so it's the Houston Rockets sitting with a comfortable lead, up by 14. And their ability to get points in the paint. And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. While you look at Shea in this game, he has been everywhere.
And the way that he has helped out with the ball movement has been a difference maker early on.
And, you know, that's not a job they ask him to do very often. But in the first half, I thought he was in perfect sync with his teammates.
On the court for Minnesota. Culver the off guard with Wiggins at the 3. Lays out there with Chang, and it's Teague in at the point guard position.
And, you know, that right there is a case of Shea knowing how to use his body to not only shield the defender, but to get the and one chance, too.
And some changes here for the Timberwolves. Towns, he's checked in for Corky Dan. And it's Walden in for Andrew Wiggins. Free throw, good. Shea. Timberwolves trail by 15. Outside, Walden. Over Shea. And it's Walden missing.
Well, you know, for so long, Mike D'Antoni has been a vanguard on NBA offense. His teams have always played great offense. Moving, spacing, dynamic players. And defense has not been at the level of offense, but I think he's actually improved as a coach in that area as well.
And part of it for D'Antoni is that he is delegating defensive duties.
Yeah, and I like that, Kevin. He's made sure to have a defensive coordinator on his staff, delegating that role and responsibility. He thinks and knows that his team is better off that way.
Towns down low. Capella covering. And it's Walden missing. Houston leading by 17. Gordon with no one around. The three-pointer no good. Outside, Walden. Right side, Teague. For the 3. And there's Walden. That's good on the assist by Teague. Walden's got 16 points.
And, you know, he's enjoyed the kind of day you expect in terms of shooting the basketball. He can bring them right back into this game.
And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Westbrook. Timberwolves trail by 14. Teague surveying the D. Vonleh. And the dunk by Vonleh.
Yeah, you know, not every point guard would be able to find an open man right there, but Teague is always looking for the right play.
Tries it from 9. Tried to bank it in, but he misses. Timberwolves have gone 3 of 5 to start the second half, developing a nice rhythm out there. But they get it back. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing.
Showing determination inside. Towns absorbs the contact and gets the whistle.
It's his first trip to the line.
And what a season he's had at the foul line thus far. 86% from the line.
And fellas, I think you have to like his improvements over his free throw numbers from a year ago. It's not a significant number or a huge amount, but it's improvement nonetheless.
Back to Westbrook. From deep. They get it again. Capella with the bucket. 15 points in the game.
Hey, you got to put a body on Capella. I mean, he's a tenacious offensive rebounder and does a nice job using his body.
On the wing, A.W. by Jay. And that one's good. Walden.
Man, he's got such a great touch and feel around the basket. He made that reverse look easy.
Westbrook dishes to Che. Capella trying to free himself up. A nice shot by Che. Che's got 25 points.
Nice aggressive move by Che. Gets bounced around a little bit, but maintains his focus.
Here's Towns. And it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for it. And it's Westbrook with the ball. He brings it up for the Houston Rockets. And following this game, they'll challenge the Grizzlies on the road at the FedEx Forum in Memphis. That will be a getaway game for them, a one-game road trip.
No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense.
Teague drives in. Basket counts. Teague's got 6.
And every small guy should have this shot. Teague loves the float. A nearly unguardable shot when he gets it up that quick.
For 3, Westbrook, and another 3 for Houston.
He's found his rhythm from deep, and you can see the confidence.
Yeah, I'd be confident too, as a matter of fact. I mean, if you're stacking up threes the way he is, I mean, he's doing all this work from behind the arc.
And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. The big part of your game was rebounding. You controlled the glass so well. What's one thing you would tell young viewers if they wanted to improve the rebound?
You know, I'm a little bit out of the norm here, but the biggest thing to me for rebounding is pursuing the ball. Boxing out is important, but pursuing the ball and good timing are the most important elements of rebounding. And that's what I would have players focus on. Pursue the ball.
Teague on the double team. 5 to shoot. Westbrook wide open. He fires. And again, the Rockets good for 2.
Seems like he can't miss right now, guys. I mean, completely in the zone this quarter.
Minnesota calls timeout.
Yeah, he needs to tell his guys to just box out with some energy. That's basic basketball. They've been lazy on the backboard and have allowed way too many second chance points.
And now a moment to check out the leaders in the All-Star voting underway.
And this is really a fun time of year. You're starting to see which players are going to be in the running to make the All-Star team.
And you look at Capella. He's on the cusp of the top 10 in the Western Conference voting.
So still a long way away from being named a starter, but the fans aren't overlooking what he's been doing this season.
And keep tuning in for updated results. You can visit NBA.com for more.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Clearly just an example of a different mindset between these teams.
And play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
And let's take a look at Shea, some stats here. He's been on a remarkable tear this past month. First in scoring, second in steals, and he's in the top 10 in field goal percentage. Really able to power his way to the bucket and finish through contact.
And his scoring abilities are just so far out of sight. Number 1 overall right now. No one's been able to slow him down or even come close. Minnesota again turning it over. Gerald Green, he's checked in for Shea. Minnesota also making some changes. And the last few years, Karl Anthony Towns getting a rap as a bad defender. Clark, you think that's fair to say?
You know what, Kevin? I don't think it's as fair as it once was. He's not nearly the defensive liability he used to be. He's better defensively one-on-one, and I think he's improved in his ability to switch and rotate on smaller players.
We're still waiting for that first miss from the line this half.
100% since halftime? Come on now. I'm not sure this lead's going away anytime soon with that kind of marksmanship.
Rivers and Gordon make the backcourt. Then it's Shea. Then it's Clint Capella. And it's House in at the four-man position. That's the 5 for Houston right now. Too long in the paint. He's hit with a 3-second violation. Clark, there are a lot of factors a free agent puts into selecting the new team that he goes to. Talk about the factors that aren't basketball for these free agents.
Well, I think you could see some of them if you gave it some thought, Kevin. You think about it, market size, nightlife for some guys is important. Business opportunities when you think about places like Silicon Valley or New York or Los Angeles. Season of life for the individual player in terms of his family and where he might want to reside after he's done playing. So there are a number of different things that contribute to free agents making moves from one team to the next.
Now, did you have family, Clark, when you played your last couple of years in the NBA?
We were without children, but it was Rosie and I. We've been married 4 years, and then our family started right after I retired.
Conley kicks the tee. Teardrop shot, and Capella sends it back, but he stays with it. A three-pointer, Wiggins, rebounded by Capella. Capella's got his 16th rebound on the night. Shea passes to Rivers. Shea with it. Eric Gordon on the wing. Tries again. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. It's going to be on Andrew Wiggins.
You know, it's really hard to match up against Clint Capella's height and length. I mean, sometimes you got to foul him.
And he can't get the first one. Like the relationship between referees and players reaching a fever pitch. What can be done to smooth those waters and mend those fences?
Well, I think first and foremost, players have to give. Both sides have to give in this equation, but I think it's incumbent upon the players to accept and respect the position of the officials, and the officials have to also be willing to engage in interacting well with the players. It's a two-way street, but I think most of that is on the players because they have to control how they respond to officials more than officials have to respond to the play.
Here's Charles. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Shea's got 4 points in the quarter.
Well, he's demanding the ball. He wants it, and he's coming through. I mean, you can see why his teammates trust him down the stretch, guys.
Teague against Rivers. Teague kicks to Towns. Misses the three.
It's almost like he's trying to make things hard on himself. You know, he's just got to slow the game down. Try to get some easy ones.
Rivers finds Capella. Shea inside. Covered by Wiggins. Back to Capella. Rivers in the corner. Takes the three. Hits the three-point bomb.
And perimeter scoring, I have to imagine it was a topic of discussion at halftime.
Certainly. I mean, they saw a weakness in the perimeter defense and took advantage of it.
Teague can't hit.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A +10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know. And even stronger.
Substitution on the court.
Now here's Walden. And stolen by Jay. Murray, no good. The Timberwolves shooting 40% in the fourth. And a wide open look here for Wiggins. Kept alive, Minnesota. And he makes that one. And 11 points for Robert Covington.
Man, I'm impressed by the level of concentration Covington has on these difficult finishes. I mean, in this league, you have to get used to making shots despite being bumped a little bit or being challenged at a high level.
Right side Walden. Murray with the defensive effort.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going in this quarter. And certainly they are not hesitating, letting it fly from deep here in the second half.
And Greg, I have no problem with that. As a matter of fact, I hate to see teams get conservative with the lead. As long as they're good shots, take them. And as long as they're falling, continue to take them.
Takes the 13-footer. Culver's shot is off. Houston's gone 4-7 with the long ball here in the fourth quarter. And they double up Jay, and Jay throws it down.
Boy, for Jay, it's been one great play after another tonight. They cannot keep him in check.
And the foul called on Shea. That'll be his second foul of the game. Clark, do you think the NBA should consider expanding the use of replay? I know you personally hate to slow the game down, but you also want the calls to be correct.
Well, it depends on the circumstances, Kevin. I like the fact that replay is available and it helps enhance the ability of the officials to get calls correct. Expanding the use of replay, though, has to be done very judiciously. There are a couple of areas, goaltending would be one, where you take a look to see if that's the case. But I think flow of game takes priority over trying to get every single call right just because you think technology gives you a chance to do that.
Now Murray. On the wing, Jay. The offensive rebound. It's good on the putback.
There you go. Relentless pursuit of the ball. I love it. He never stopped working.
Minnesota shooting here about 46% for the game. Passes it to Jang. Rockets with the rebound. Burks has got rebound number 8 now on the night. And they double up Jay. And that one is hammered home.
Crisp pass from Jay to make this bucket happen. Nice vision, nice dime.
Pass to Jang. And denied. He sends it right off the glass.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Rockets.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And with this win, they'll end up notching another victory for this year's campaign, win number 33.
And once the horn sounds, they're going to go up 2-0 in the season series.
But, Greg, still 2 more games upcoming between these teams, so we could have a few more twists and turns down the road.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Clint Capella.
He did all the dirty work that they needed, clearing out space underneath and securing rebounds.
To the paint, here's Graham. And oh, he blocked it and deflects off the backboard. Shea inside, and he converts the layup. Shea's got 39.
They made the most of their opportunities, looking comfortable and locked in throughout the night.
Boy, they've given their fans plenty to cheer about, that's for sure. Effort, skill, coaching, you name it, they've done it.
And stolen by Murray. Shea inside. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed.
Saw the opportunity to put this away and did not turn it down.
And, you know, this run shows what kind of attitude this team has. I mean, the win is there. Go get it.
So we see Houston taking the W here. They poured it on tonight. Dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
And, you know, this game could really be a defining one for what they can do when they are playing at their best. I mean, being here at home no doubt helps, and the execution was flawless.